Okay. You want this or you want the one that goes?
Let me do the.
Look at this hand.
Sir. So you, Angela Bueno, and Jody Christensen.
No problem.
She is a. Speaking up, you ready? Going to ask AI one. Share that. What time we got? I'm going to make all the people that think they're sneaky sitting in the back, they're going to have to move up anyways. Yeah. Because it looks way too empty with everyone sitting in the back. Guys, this isn't church. You have to sit up here. You can leave at any time. Don't get me wrong. But... Just slide up a little bit for me. Come on now. It's too empty. All right. Thank you. I'll take it, Zach. I see how you went for your clients negotiating like that.
Spanish
Christy, so good to see you. Welcome. So glad you made it. Awesome. It's great to see you. Good to see you. You're modest, you top producer in Kentucky. All right, this thing on. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me when I'm talking? Or do I need to go? Do I need to go handheld? Can you hear me? Check, 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 check. 1, 2. I might need to swap out to a handheld.
Hello, hello, hello.
Good morning. I heard Chip with some enthusiasm. Thank you, Chip. Good morning. Let's try that again.
Good morning.
Thank you on Zoom land. Who was that?
Elena Donaldson.
Elena, thank you for being here.
Sure. Thank you.
Sorry, I muted too soon.
Rob apologizes. He muted you accidentally, Elena.
It's okay. I got it.
Okay, she unmuted herself. You were overridden, Rob. Thank you guys so much for being here. The room is a little scarce today because we have a whole crowd representing Strong in Atlanta, Georgia Family Reunion. And I want to say a special thank you to everyone that showed up for the watch party. Some great, anyone join me for social media con on Sunday? That's in the room. Phenomenal. Yeah, Rick, you were in here. Was it not amazing? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, tactical, it was like plug and play information they were giving you for your businesses, this FR, which was great. So I'm excited to, when everyone gets back, they're going to be sharing those nuggets with you. Today, we're going to go ahead and get started. If I can find my clicker. Let's make sure it works. There we go. So first time guest, if this is your first time at one of our team meetings, would you mind standing up and then we're going to run you a mic. We want you to introduce yourself to everyone. Let us know who you. Amazing. We have a few.
Hi, I'm Christy Kane. I am here by way of Kentucky. I've been an agent since 2005 and looking forward to seeing what I can do in North Carolina. North Carolina is a lot different than Kentucky. So there you go.
Christy, thank you so much for being here. Welcome. Absolutely. Give him a hand. Coming up behind you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anthony Kent. I am a home inspector. I own a company called Inspections Plus. I was just actually here last month. They had like an AI presentation, so it was like 60 or 70 vendors here. I service North and South Carolina, and I'm actually a former employee or real estate agent with Keller Williams Ballantyne almost 10 years ago. Alrighty.
Amazing. Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong, but you also brought us some food today as well, right? So can we give it up for that? Like he's going to feed us today. So.
Hi, I'm Casey Robinson. I am a new agent. I just got my license last month. Thank you. I'm new to the team and I actually will be joining Brittany and Vincent's team with the Premier Home Advisors, but I just wanted to come today and show my face and introduce myself to you all.
Welcome, Casey. Thank you all so much. So honored to be in business with each and every single one of you. So our vendors, if you are one of our vendor partners, do you mind standing up just so we can recognize you? Give these guys a hand. They do so much for this office. Teresa, you as well. There you go. Get up there, lady. Bucket fills. So if you don't know what a bucket fill is, the meme will tell you. I am so grateful for you, right? So if you have a gratitude moment, if someone showed up in your world, specifically in the office, to help you out in a personal or professional manner, this is a time to fill their bucket and thank them for that. So anyone have a bucket? Let's get at least 2 or 3. Angela? Mike?
Thank you. So I wanted to bucket fill Chip Walton. He's been doing the Monday morning mindset call, where he goes over some data, and he'll just choose different things. But one of the things that he shared with us really helped me in my business recently. And I just want to thank him for taking the time to do that for us. Yeah.
Thank you. Show of hands, how many of you are on those Monday morning calls? If you are not, I highly recommend it. If you want your talking points with your clients for the rest of the week on what the market's doing, 30-minute call. And this expert's going to guide you through exactly what to say. One more bucket fill.
I want to bucket fill Jules, Leah, and Rob, because for us agents that are not good, they are like our everything. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, because I am so bad when it comes to technical stuff and, doing the social media and all of that and doing it the right way. And I also want a bucket fill Sabra, because I reached out to her about something legal and she got right back to me and it was awesome. So thank you.
Love Sabre. Absolutely. Thank you. Any more bucket fills? We have time for one more.
Let's go ahead and do Liz, because this wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have been able to text her right before.
There we go. So bucket fill Liz.
Yeah. I didn't know the password to this, so.
Guys, you know what's incredible? Yeah, everyone knows that Liz is like, her mind just works on a different level, right? So she actually took the time before she left for Atlanta to shoot me a video on how to open the divider, right? Because you have to use a certain key, how to open the divider and reset the room, step-by-step instructions, and then sent Rob one to get the tech set up. So usually you guys, have a blonde that's super talented up on this side and a brunette that's super talented on this side. You have me and Rob today. But we're going to keep it fun. We're going to keep it fun. So thank you for participating. Without further ado, let's bring our AI panel up. I'm super excited about this one, guys. So everyone on the panel, where is Miss Jody? There you are. Looked right over your head. There you are. Has anyone ever heard of the book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent? Millionaire Real Estate Agent? You heard of it? So one of my favorite things, Lord, this thing's up high. There we go. That was fun. One of my favorite models that's really underutilized is the organizational model, right? And really what the organizational model is teaching you is scaling your business, and it's also teaching you leverage. So the leverage can come in many different forms. We know who by chance knows, according to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, in the organizational model, what your first hire should be if you are an individual agent. Say it loud. Transaction coordinator, right? What's second hire? An assistant. What's that for? What are you essentially doing by making those hires for your business? Getting time back, right? And what you do with that time, you can continue to scale your business, increase your revenue by going and getting more clients, or you can apply that to your personal world as well. What I'm excited about, and this may look differently, they may roll out a brand new organizational model with AI built in as a hire now, but how are you using that tool to continue to grow and scale in a market that's starting to balance, right? So these incredible agents and leadership, that's a part of our office here, have attended our AI classes so far for the year, and to have some pretty remarkable takeaways that they're going to share to help you do exactly that, to bring some time back in your world, right? Isn't that kind of the theme? Awesome. So let's jump in. Jody, we're going to start with you, if that's okay.
Yeah. I gave myself a framework.
Yeah.
And I know you have some really great questions, but do you have that? You want to put that up there? Is that what you want to start with?
I do have a slide. Do you want to start with the framework?
Yeah, because I've got about 3 seconds worth of information to share, and this is going to be up here. So
All right.
really, truly.
Hey, this is your panel. Absolutely.
Hey, I've had a lot of conversations with folks that are like, they're just using AI to do their emails. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord, I am too. But I know to take it the next level. And I see all these classes that you can buy to get trained on AI. And I'm like, I ain't doing that. AI trained me. And I just dump stuff into it. We've got stuff that Keller Williams has given us. And I started a couple months ago, actually maybe last year, on a 15-minute a day training with chat. And and I've dumped all my information into it about my business plan, my strategic plan, my 411, you name it. And I'm learning how to use it in my business based on what chat knows I'm not doing well. And I always go back to the basics because I can chase rabbits, but I thought I would share basically what I'm doing. I'm asking better questions in AI. It's all about our prompts and the framework. And there's many different frameworks that you can learn. This is the one that I'm using. I think it's the AI. What book is that? There's a book out there too. But the one thing that Teresa asked was, what are you doing every day? I said, well, not every day. I can tell you though, every week I do this weekly listing update for my clients, or I have a specific prompt. I put all the data in there, and then it gives me my overview. So I can be strategic with my client on that call on Monday about where we're at. And then I summarize it, send it to them, and we move forward. Usually it's to get them to make some adjustments on the price. And
How often do you send the update to your clients?
It's once a week. It's on Mondays. On Mondays, I do all my work. The thing that I've got to learn to leverage now is that somebody will pull the data for me, because the prompt, which is, I don't use it all the time, but I do a cut and paste. I literally have got a library where I cut and paste, so I don't have to recreate the wheel. Now, these prompts that I'm using keep getting better, so I can shorten it a little bit. It's a living, breathing document. But that's the time that I've got to figure out how to get the information that I want. And I collect it from all different areas from the listing. And then I've got my email. It's already ready to go before I have the conversation. So these are our talking points. And of course, when we have follow-up actions, I add to it, and then out the door it goes. So they get the email of our conversation, right afterwards. And it's helping because they're making changes. I'm back to this week. They didn't want to go live until next week. And we're on coming soon. I still did my weekly update with them, and they're like, well, we should be on the market now. And I'm like, absolutely. So I'm working on that now. So we'll go live tonight.
Love that.
So it's working.
Love that.
But it's prompts, guys. It's all about the prompts, and the only way to learn it is your buddy, whoever you use, whether it's Gemini or Chat. It knows your business more than I do. And so it's crafting my prompts based on what it knows I'm trying to get to, which is 33 families this year. I got to do 33 families, and every week we go over those numbers.
Awesome.
Nice. Right, yeah, and building on what Jody said, Chat GPT or Gemini, it can give you the prompts. You don't have to think of the best prompt because the best prompts are the most detailed, right? But telling it to give you the most strategic prompt is really where I would start. And to build off what Darren's saying, right, and where you should be hiring first. What top producers are doing with AI is they're using it to streamline systems to replace hires. So before you hire, you should have systems in your business. That system acts like an actual hire, right? So instead of using AI as the strategy, right, we want to use the strategy of the millionaire real estate agent model. Then AI is the implementer, right? Okay, so again, you're telling it the strategy. It's MREA, millionaire real estate agent, is the strategy. AI executes that for you, gives you the exact verbiage that you can put in command. The KW Tech deploys it. Okay. So again, 3 steps. 1, the strategy, MREA. 2, AI executes it, creates it. And then 3, command deploys it.
Do you want to go through any of the questions that we have?
So if you guys want to start with a macro overview of just kind of how
Okay.
you're utilizing it right now, and then we'll dive into more.
Yeah, sure. So we took the 2 classes. One was, I forget her name now, but she was wonderful. And then we had Michael Trithart, who I've been to that class before, but a couple of the tools that I started using right away after her class was I was using ChatGPT, but I was using the free version. And after hearing what she had to say in the class, I went ahead and upgraded to the paid version. And also I started, you can organize your, as you're putting things in there, your prompts are like just all over the place. So you can organize those. And so now I have organized a folder for sellers, a folder for buyers. And then within that folder, I have dropped down to like names. So each person each person that I'm working with currently has their own folder. And then when I talk about something to do with that client, I'm in that specific chat so that it can stay on the same page about what we're doing, whether that's negotiating or whatever the next step is. So that's something that I took away. Also Gamma, I'm not sure if you guys remember them talking about Gamma. It's a AI platform where you can just put information in and anything you want, it will make like a slideshow, a presentation right away for you. So if you have like on the fly, I have a presentation that I want to do. I want to tailor it to a specific client, like an investor or, whatever it is, you can go ahead and tailor that presentation. And it's really nice.
Angela, on a side note to that,
Sure.
how much time do you feel like you're saving by just using that tool and resource?
So I would guess like maybe 5 to 8 hours a week, just because I'm using it for
5 to 8 hours a week.
5 to 8 hours a week. Yeah. Because everything is being drafted through there. So I'm the one that's looking over it to make sure it's good, but it's doing all of the heavy lifting for me and the creative side of it.
It's incredible.
Yeah. And one other one that I liked a lot from their presentation was Suno. Suno is one where you can make songs. And I made a song about my real estate business and I put it on Facebook and it got a ton of engagement from my people on my Facebook group. So it was just kind of fun to laugh. And then some of them made songs too after they opened the application and they sent me their songs. So that was a cool little thing.
That's fun. Yeah, can you pass her mic?
Get stuck in overanalysis and then I just freeze. Especially in transaction class when I'm in the key group over there, I'm like, I don't know the answer. Chat is my strategic advisor in that I can get in there and ask all the dumb questions and not look dumb in front of people. I'll break it down, but I I do know I need to not go down too many rabbit holes, but as far as freeing up time, I can craft better ideas when I can work it through. And then, we keep doing revisions. So for me, communicating with my client on the phone is not a problem, but it's you've got to always document everything because they forget. So it has saved me a ton of time, but it is the strategic advisor in my business that I'm leveraging. And the other thing, as a new agent, man, I'm telling you, it saved my butt. You got a question about a forms and Tasha's not available? You ask it and chat will know it. Chat will tell me where it's at when I'm looking for something. I can't find it. And you're like, there's no crying in baseball, but there is in real estate. And it's 10 o'clock and you've got, chat has bailed me. I mean, I'm telling you, it knows these forms better than, except for Tasha, of course. Yeah. It even will help you with your command. When you get stuck in command and I go to their YouTube videos, I get lost. Not with chat. It actually probably already knows I'm stuck before I even start to do the prompt. But it's really in terms of that dialogue that you have back and forth. Like you can't get to your coach at 10 o'clock. You can't get to your buddies. Like, what form is this? That's why just the other day it was down. I was panicking, but I'm not supposed to use it as a crutch. It is supposed to help you think more strategically. And that's the leverage that I'm getting that I wouldn't have 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day.
The AI tool I would recommend using, if you guys don't know, as a KW agent, you get Gemini Pro for free. Gemini is Google's version of ChatGPT. So same thing as ChatGPT, you just go to gemini.google.com, sign in with your KW email, and you get all the pro features being a KW agent. Like, who in here knows or has tried virtually staging with Gemini? How cool is it? Right? You can take a blank room from a house that you're trying to sell, or even, let's say, a poorly staged one, ask ChatGPT, or I'm sorry, Gemini, either one, for the prompt that you should use, give it the picture and the prompt. I did it this morning. I can show you after. It's beautiful. Cleaned up my entire living room. I have kids, okay? It's impressive. And so you should start using that right away. Also for, you can upload any things into it, like your contracts. You can have it review your contract and tell it to spot any places that your clients could be exploited in this contract, right? It's to look over your work and multiply your work, which I'll talk about more. The biggest thing you should be doing, if you are creating a social media piece, let's say, a caption, let's say you have a listing description, you take that listing description, or you can have chat rewrite it, tell it to reword it strategically for social media with keywords. Tell it to reword that strategically for an email to send your clients, and then strategically reword it for a Reels script. Okay, top producers are using AI to multiply the same content across all platforms.
I love that. So
It's SUNO. Actually, let me double check. Okay. I was gonna make sure.
confirmed by the room. Amazing. So Leah, you said something really powerful earlier. Systems, right? That systems always come before the hire, having those in place. So without just someone hopping on Gemini Pro, ChatGPT, and experimenting, what systems have you all been able to create using these AI platforms?
I'll start with that one. So during the class, I learned about something called a custom GPT. And custom GPT is basically you go into your regular ChatGPT, and the top right corner, it says GPTs. You can click on that and you can basically train a different part of it. So mine is like Angela Bueno OS, a real estate OS. And you train it. It asks you questions about, what you want it to perform. But for mine, it's listing based. And it asks me questions about like, okay, how would you handle this offer versus this offer? And it asks you how you would react or how you would respond naturally to those offers, how you would break those down for your seller client, which one seems like a better offer to you. And so it starts to understand how you think, and that custom GPT can serve as your assistant, and it already knows how you would respond, and it could also train an assistant for you later. So my custom GPT is listing heavy, but It does like the weekly seller updates, like you were saying. It prepares me for objection handling on my way to a listing appointment. So, I say, give me some of the tough objections that sellers might give me, and I start to role play on my way to the listing appointment. Structure pricing conversations. So you can train it to be basically you.
I love what you just said as far as you can use it to train your assistant down the road. If you work out these systems on the front end, imagine how much easier it's going to be when you do have to make that first hire. We know, according to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, as an individual agent, you can close 24 to 36 transactions solo before you're going to have full-time help in your business, right? When you make that first hire, how much easier is it going to be if you have a job description based on the systems you're already using that they can immediately plug and play? So great point, Angela. I appreciate you bringing that up.
My systems?
Systems built. Yeah, by AI.
Well, chat will tell you we're always working on it.
That was really good. I can tell you about Jody's systems.
Okay,
I
please.
implement them for her. Some of them. So the number one thing you should be doing in KW Command is setting up systems. I know, shocker. It's called smart plans. Okay. In KW Command, right, you can set up one smart plan, let's say for a past client to collect testimonials, let's say for a new buyer or seller lead. Okay. So those smart plans, what you can do. So again, KW Command, the smart plan deploys it. Okay. What do I say? What's the most effective thing to say according to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent model, or Phil Jones's magic words? Imagine your dream business coach, Chip Walton over here, right? You can tell it what to act as Chip and tell you what to say in those follow-ups, okay? What's really important here is we're not just writing it one time and sending it for that one person. No, we are setting that up in Command. Command holds that in Smart Plans, and I can help you set that up. And then every time you get a new buyer, all you do is tag them in Command as buyer or sold, and it triggers that follow-up plan to automatically send based on what Gemini or ChatGPT told you is the most strategic thing to say and how often to say it, right? If I'm following up in an email or text every day, are they likely to unsubscribe? Yes. Chat or AI knows the frequency you should be reaching out to increase referrals, increase conversion, right? And what you should say it. And then it's forever set up in Command. So anything I say like this, just a reminder, you can book with us anytime for free. KWB Resources, it says marketing help at the top, and I'll help you set up those smart plans for the niches that you're trying to target.
Yeah, and for those even online that's familiar with smart plans, Leah, so you're not just pulling the content on what to say, it's actually recommending the delays to set for those touches as well. Correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
And even the way that you're sending it, right? Smart plans can send via text, email, or a call reminder. Well, what would be the most appropriate, and how much should I switch off on that in order to convert more leads?
That's incredible.
Right?
Incredible. And thank you for speaking on Jody's behalf.
Yeah.
As they're implemented.
I'm
There you go.
in numbers because I've got to make the calls. And every year's a mess, and I get a couple months into it, and the numbers, I'm trying to compile in different spreadsheets. Enough of that. Chat, we've got it all based down. It breaks it down, all my metrics based on my GCI, how many calls I'll log that day. I'll put my calls in. So it's keeping my goals, because I have these goals that I know I have to hit based on the percentages of the four, all the plans that we always do that you forget about in 4 months, but I don't. I'm always writing them down. So that's helped. That's freed me up, because I really just put in the number, how many calls I made that day, contracts, everything. And then I don't have to keep reinventing that stupid Excel spreadsheet, and combine, because then you look at how many have you sold and all this and that. So I'm tracking, that keeps me on track, and it keeps me from trying to reinvent the wheel every quarter.
That's a great resource as well. So let's pivot right quick to AI and listings. And Angela, I know you said that you were doing a little bit of this as well, but how are you using AI in your listing process right now? Is it pre-listing packets, CMA prep, objection handling? What all are you using it for
Yes.
specifically? Yes.
Yes.
All.
All of that.
Okay.
So pre-listing, I ran my pre-listing packet through there and asked it to give me some critique. So I'm currently editing my pre-listing packet to just kind of take some of the fluff out and make the page make it it's like 12 pages right now. I think it told me to make it like 6 to 8. And then take some of the pricing structure stuff that I had out of there. I have it doing let me see, what else did I have on here? My notes got jumbled. It is doing for listings, let's see. The virtual staging we talked about. It's doing during the listing descriptions, obviously. When I get offers, for example, I told it about one of the offers and like the conversation I had with the buyer agent. She wasn't forthcoming with some stuff. So we talked about that. I entered in what they had we were pre-approved for, what they were pre-approved for, and some of the information about my seller. And it's funny because I drafted the counter on my own, and then I actually plugged the information into chat, and our counter offers were pretty similar. So it can help you draft the counter offer based on your client's situation, and also just kind of take into effect what the buyer agent is the input from the buyer agent so that it can help you negotiate better.
So how are you prompting that? How are you teeing that up to where it's knowing exactly what you're asking when you do submit that offer, as far as looking for, are you telling it your client's motivation, what their goals are? How are you teeing that up?
Yeah, just giving it a little bit of background about, where we are. We've been on the market for 60 days. We've had few showings. We have this offer that's, they were asking 10 below list, plus they wanted $10,000 in seller concessions. So just giving it all of the relevant information and what the buyers were qualified for. And, that's basically it.
Awesome.
Yeah. You see that under that, like some of these on, well, just, Main Street, every time I've had an interaction that goes in that folder, and every week, remember, I'm putting in how many showings, but that's the easy stuff. How many showings were in that zip code for that price point? How many are my comps that I pulled? How many went under contract that week? Every week we look at it. How many closed? Did anything come on the market? So it's keeping all of that in that Main Street folder so that when I do bring in these offers and we're looking at it, it's going to help me play this. It's going to remember all that. Now, sometimes I'll say, do you remember? Because it does forget things and it does make things up. It's called hallucinating. I was like, oh, menopause. Okay. Anyway, I digress. But that's really important that you continue, though. The context is so important, but you also have to really define its role, because it can just spit information out at you. Or again, if it's a strategic advisor, what kind of advisor it's going to be. And sometimes what I'll do is be my client. How are they interpreting this? Flip it, because they're using AI too. If you ask them, they won't tell you. I'm upfront about it. I'm your AI agent. I'm using it. It's the only way I'm going to do my job, to be on top of it and handle what I need to handle. But they're using it too. So I'll flip it and say, okay, how are they seeing this? What are they going to see? What are they, based on all this information? So it gives you all these little things that you might not, and it just takes a second. It's not like I'm spending an hour and 15, 20 minutes. Boom.
I love that. Great perspective. And Leah, you help a ton of top producers here in the office. What are you seeing them doing, or how are they using AI specifically towards listings in their business?
My favorite thing I see top producers using is around stale listings that are having trouble moving off the market. First of all, the tough conversation, sellers like, what are you doing to market my house? Clearly nothing. Okay. We all know that marketing does not sell the house. The listing marketing gets you more referrals. Great. That's good for you. But the listing sells generally from the MLS, right? Syndication. Now, how you phrase that to make it clear to your client so they understand, tell it your goal to do that clearly, and it will write you that email. Next, right? Amplifying your marketing. So if you get that listing in front of people who are the target market, right? If it has an expansive land, right? People who would be interested in more land, okay? How do you do that? First of all, this is awesome. AI, ChatGPT, Gemini. It can tell you track referral patterns. Now, Command can do this too, but it can tell you where the most amount of people are moving to Charlotte, North Carolina from. Okay, specifically cities, let's say. Say a lot of them are moving from Myrtle Beach, is true. Some move from Texas, New York, etc. You can get the top, let's say 5 to 10 cities. Now what Command can do, right? AI strategizes, then Command can launch an ad to those 10 cities with the exact verbiage that is recommended by AI. Okay. And again, I can help you guys do any of this. So the takeaway is that you have the tools to do that so you can explain it to your clients clearly, right? What sets you apart is you have tools that you can see where the most amount of people are moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, and target them with ads and keywords to get their house in front of a niche of buyers that would be interested.
Love that. I see a lot of note taking going on right now. So for those in the room who may not be early adopters to AI, may still be reluctant, as far as your weekly workflow, how you're incorporating AI into your weekly workflow, if they have no clue where to start, what would you recommend? What's working for you, and what does that look like on a week-to-week basis for you?
Ask chat, what do you need help on? And put yourself on it will give you a plan. By the way, I've seen these guys sell stuff that I'm like, I just created that right here. Go in there and say, you know where I'm at, you know my level. But by the way, remember I showed you that? It gave you I've been on it for about 2 years, to be honest. And it's really, golly, it's really changed. It'll tell you how proficient you are. It gave me a grade last year. It's the best grade I ever made. I know.
That's huge.
No. Ask it and then again, put your goal in there and tell it. Put me on a plan to teach me where I need to get there, and it'll come out to it. And you'll have it in your, like I said, that's kind of like where I'm at now after doing this. I've been on it for a while. But ask it to give you it in bite size. Don't pay for a class right now. You don't need it. And then when you do go to one of our classes, you're way ahead of the game. I'm surprised, actually. And there's so many tools that if you ask it, what is this in my Google workspace, the notebook, all that stuff that's in there, it'll show you which one. I'm like, prioritize which one will help me and which one's a shiny object. There's a ton of stuff out there I could waste time on, and it'll tell me because it knows what my goal is.
So you're literally using it to break it down to what's my one thing? What's my one thing?
But like, we just got some new stuff that was given to us. It's gonna be coming in through Command. So I put it in there. I said, okay, this looks really cool. Which one to help me to get to my 33 families? And it gave me my rankings. Oh, and then I'll do this. Which ones do you think I can complete and understand? Because half of it, I'm like, okay, I'm done. Call them. Yeah, because some of it, I'm like, I still can't get some of that stuff. But anyway, ask it what you need, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, to build on what Jody is saying, the first thing that you should do is make sure you're logged in, guys. It doesn't do you any good just using the logged out version because it doesn't remember you. Okay, which I know sounds creepy, but is essential. Okay, the first thing you should do is zoom out. Tell it your goal for the year, like Jody's saying, right? So first step, tell it your goal, and you can talk to your coaches about that. Step 2, you should tell it to create a weekly plan for that. Now, we've all probably done that, created, let's say, a yearly or a weekly, monthly social plan. And I get so overwhelmed looking at this, right? Because it's just all dumped on me. And how on earth am I going to execute this, right? What you should then do, okay, once it gives you, let's say, that weekly plan, then each week, whether that's Sunday or Monday, right? You should sit down and batch do this. So you should batch ask it. So based on the plan, what should I be posting this week? Okay. And it'll do it strategically. It'll tell you. But the key here is having AI or ChatGPT, right? Keep the plan. It's holding the plan. You don't have to be looking at a sheet, getting overwhelmed and then trying to execute it. No, it knows it. So then all you have to do is say, okay, this is week 1. Tell me the 3 pieces of content that I should create to achieve my yearly goal. Okay. And then it tells you exactly what to do and the reason strategically that you're doing it. And then lastly, so once you get that, guys, and this is key, this is something that I would really recommend working up to, again, multiplying that. Once you have that for social media, tell it to turn that into a newsletter, copy, and a script as well.
I don't have anything on that.
Okay. No worries. We can move along. So repeatable prompts and templates. I know we've talked a lot about that as far as how purposeful you have to be with prompting the AI to give it what you need. What are you finding the most effective if someone was to write down a note right now as far as a prompt that they can implement today and take back to their business? What's something that's repeatable that you're finding useful with that tool?
Yeah. So as far as prompts and templates, when you know how you have your email templates in Google, that's what you use. I went through and revised all of my templates. So if it's a template like, hey, congratulations, we're under contract, next steps, you can go ahead and go into your templates and copy paste those and kind of change them up, freshen them so that they're nice and organized. And then as far as prompts, I have one that says draft a pricing reduction conversation that frames the adjustment as strategic repositioning, not a loss. Maintain authority and focus on market absorption detail. So, or data. So that is, like Jody was saying, you can have your prompts that you use over and over again kind of off to the side and just always use those. And that's all I have for that part.
So what Angela is
Sure.
talking about, those templates in Gmail, they're called canned responses. Write down that word, okay? You can then ask ChatGPT how to do it, or you can meet with us and I'll show you. It's the best tool that we use. If you're sending the same email over and over again, right, you should have AI write it one time, right, optimize it, then store it in the KW Tech Tools, in this case, Gmail canned responses. Then every time, let's say I have a listing appointment, I go in, grab my canned response to send the listing presentation, which is linked, and then they receive it to review it before I even get there, right? So it saves you tons of time not having to rewrite that email. So again, canned responses, jot that down. That one's huge. And then smart plans, of course, in Command. My favorite prompt, probably the most effective thing that we do for marketing and engagement, all right, is hyper localizing news articles. I'm going to give you two examples. Let's say there's lots of news articles out about how interest rates are hitting recent lows, right? Taking any article that you see and pasting it in ChatGPT, it can work with just the link, and telling it to hyper localize it to the Charlotte area, telling us how it affects Charlotte buyers and sellers or homeowners, right? So you can take any national article. Most people out there, they have national real estate news and they paint a pretty bleak picture. Charlotte, on the other hand, has been in the top 5-7 markets in the country for years now. So it's your job to paint a picture that Charlotte is performing differently. So again, the two ways to do that, first, tell it if you have a national article, tell it to hyper localize it to Charlotte homeowners. And then two as well, okay, the other favorite thing we do is, let's say the Panther Stadium is going through renovations, great? So something going on in Charlotte. I tell ChatGPT to tell me how that's affecting homeowners in the area and give me examples of potential opportunities and pitfalls that I can provide value to my sphere with. Okay, so they're not seeing that anywhere else, right? You're curating that based on your expertise. The general public knows, okay, Panther Stadium renovations, cool. Well, what impact on the real estate market is there, right? Are there investment opportunities? So really any article that you see out there, give it to chat and tell it to strategize it around either hyper local or the impact on the real estate market.
Love that. That's powerful.
I always ask it to tie it to pickleball.
That's true, you do. Right, your niche.
Ink Slam sold, right? It's right there on your slide, yeah. All right, so let's go into lessons learned right quick. So what mistakes did you make early on with AI? Was it overcomplicating the tools, not editing the output before you just send it out? What type of mistakes did you make initially, and what did you take away from that?
Yeah, so I have that I was using it as like a Google search engine instead of using it as an assistant and leverage for the business. And the other one I had was that I was using the free version and I wasn't really able to train it or have it like remember my way of doing things, my information. So yeah, highly recommend the custom chat.
A mistake I made early on is designing from scratch. Now, ChatGPT and Gemini, they're not that great at creating marketing material. However, what they are good at is creating something when I'm looking at a blank page frozen, right? So you can tell it to imagine a mock-up of a business card for a luxury agent based on my goals of getting in front of more listings, right? And it will imagine, at least you can tell it the colors or upload your logo, and it will at least imagine the starting design. So you're not having to think of this from scratch. And again, it's tailored to you, your niches. If you're not sure what colors you want in your brand, great. Tell it your values. It'll align colors strategically based on what you're trying to achieve in your real estate business. Okay. So really not starting from scratch, whether that's a design or an email, right? Or how you're saying something, you're the expert. So you should always refine it. Like Angela is saying, not just using it as a one question, giving it back information. I loved how you said on your, the price decrease, right? That to reframe it as a, what'd you say? Reposition it as like a strategic move instead of a loss for them, right? Because it feels like a loss, right? So giving it that information, it can tackle that.
Love that.
My pit guys, I can't do math now because I depend on calculators and I can't go across town without a GPS. So I am in so much trouble. If I really outsource my critical thinking, I'm in trouble. Give me 2 more years and I'll be done. So I think that is the biggest thing that I'm trying to not just go down to the conclusion because I get lazy. You put all that data in it. If you watch it, it's telling you, it's showing you the framework in which it's basing the conclusions and the answers and the questions, and taking the time to read that and use that time to critically think, because it is so easy to just say, oh, just give me the answer. You know, that is the thing right now that I'm telling you, I'm going to be stupid. Like I am in math if I'm not careful. And then recreating the prompts. But now my prompts though are getting better. So I created all those, a library of prompts where I can just cut and paste and put them in. But again, because my shift is, I'm thinking differently on the information that I want to get out. So they're always changing, but it is a framework. But I did reinvent the wheel way too many times. But now I'm finding that some of it is meant to be, because you're going to get better at asking better questions, just like we are with our clients. You know, we ask better questions, we can help them more.
I love that. So one thing I would love before we wrap up, if they were going to leave the room today and implement one thing that you shared, what would that one thing that each of you would recommend to the room to implement?
Just a quick note, if you're feeling overwhelmed by AI or behind, the future is human. People are already craving a more human touch. Okay, if you read a social caption, I bet you can tell pretty quickly if they copy and pasted that from ChatGPT, the overuse of emojis, right? So you're not behind. You just need to start using AI to build your human touch into a streamlined system so that you can scale and get your time back, right? So the number one thing I would recommend starting to do is smart plans, right? That's that automated follow-up and conversion. So if that's meet with us, KWB Resources Marketing Help, come in, say you want help setting up smart plans. We can set that up. If you have, Spanish speaking database, we can set up an entire smart plan for buyers who speak Spanish that will go out every single buyer client that you have, right? So we can set up systems together, and that's the number one thing I would recommend doing.
15 minutes a day, educate yourself. That's it. Just that's my one thing. You have to start somewhere. I don't know where you're at. And when I always hit the reset button, 15 minutes a day on training.
And so I guess for mine, the one thing would be, just depends on which one you're having more trouble with. If you're having more trouble with presentations, I would say go check out Gamma and plug some information in there. For example, like a market update. You know how there's a ton of information on your market update, like the monthly one that we get. You can plug that into Gamma and have it make a visual representation, so it can make charts and just make it easier for you to absorb the information and for you to pass that information along to your buyers and sellers. So that's a really cool AI tool that I think everyone should check out.
Love that. Guys, thank you so much. Can we give them a hand? Thank you so much. Was that helpful? Did you get a lot out of that? So hopefully you can take knowledge is power, but it's absolutely useless if we don't implement what we learn. So I encourage all of you to take one nugget that you heard today and immediately start implementing that to get some time back in your business. So Rob, we're going to see if this clicker's still hanging on with us. Thank you all again. You got me. Perfect. So we have a contest going on. Has anyone heard of that? All right, here's all you got to do to win. Invite a licensed agent to a KWB event. When you come in, so every invitee is going to enter you in for a drawing. Okay, so when you come in for that training event with the guest, all you have to do is email Liz ahead of time, let her know the guest's name, and then when you check in, you'll pick up an entry ticket and you'll be entered into a drawing. And that's just for helping us grow, continuing to grow Keller Williams Valentine. That's going to tee Chip up to have a conversation with them and share all the incredible value that's here. And it's going to help you build your passive income through profit sharing, which we happen to be number 2 in the globe on, by the way, for those of you that didn't know. So great opportunity. Yes, I can for any training event. Great question. That's correct. Yep. Just get them in front of Chip. Yeah. So just quick note, this Thursday, February 26th from 2 to 3:30. Who all has been going to our KW Wealth Building events? Are they not incredible? I mean, the guests they're bringing in and the amount of knowledge in that room. So they're bringing in a couple, Justin and Anika Sutton, that's going to be talking about how to build a portfolio using creative financing. They've done some, if you just read through there, some of the stuff that they've been able to achieve through creative financing is mind-blowing. So one of the things I love about this company, as you can tell by the panel, there's no gatekeeping. If it works, we're going to share it with you. We're going to teach you how to win. And so they're going to be here on Thursday teaching you how they scale their portfolios through that. So make sure you can be in the room for that. If you're available. Wait, I saw some cameras up. You want us to go back for there you go. I got you. Awesome. Also, flooring fundamentals class. You all that the materials are constantly changing. Have you noticed that, especially in new construction? So bringing an expert in to talk about exactly that, types of flooring, the overview of hard surfaces. That's going on Thursday, March the 12th from 12:30 to 1:30. You can scan that QR code. That's going to be offered exclusively in person. That will not be available on Zoom. Love to have you show up for that one as well. And then Sydney Seymour. Who knows Sydney Seymour? She is our incredible regional tech trainer. She's going to be here in person on March 17th from 12 to 1:30, teaching you the AI Listings Lab. Sydney is a wealth of knowledge. I know Leah, Rob, you two have worked with Sydney. She's a wealth, especially when it comes to command and Keller Williams technology. This is something you really don't want to miss. She doesn't do this often. But she's going to be here in the office presenting for you guys. We'd love to fill the room for that as well. Yes, ma'am. Yes, if you go to kwbresources.com, you'll see all these events are already on the calendar for you. And we have the amazing Carolina Gold Mortgage that's going to come up and join us. Where's your dynamic? Okay.
We got some lower interest rates, so we're working 24/7 here. Hopefully they stay for a while. Yeah, so we have a lunch and learn coming next Monday. We're going to do list reports. This is one that got snowed or iced out on us last month. So we'll feed you and teach you some good stuff. We have a rep from List Reports that's going to do this. So good tips for everybody. If you're not on List Reports and you want to jump on prior to, just come see us, bring your laptop. We'll set you up with that. There's some great nuggets that you can use for, again, they're not the greatest in the world, but to start with social media stuff or kind of give you an idea, or maybe you can feed those into AI and get them even better. So, and then the next slide, I think we have we've got a new investor. We've got a 5-year arm on FHA now with down payment assistance that goes with it. That's 100% financing, and it is starting in the high fours on the interest rate for that. So no excuse for anybody not buying a house these days. Come see us.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Is everyone using Teresa? Have you used they're incredible, guys. They're right here in the office too. So make sure you stop in and see them because they do an amazing job in more ways than one. So thank you for all you do. Our Bic, where's Miss Tasha at?
Loud enough. Anyway, other than some quick reminders, I don't know, but let me ask a question. Who in here has read the listing agreement in the last 6 months? Who in here has read the buyer agency agreement? What about the offer to purchase? Okay. All of those changed 6-8 months ago. So unless you know them to the point that you don't need to read it, I would recommend reading those again. It's nothing more frustrating to me, Sabra, and Sharon to get a call and say, how do I explain this to my seller? And you've had it listed for 6 weeks. My question becomes, how did you explain it the first time? What do your buyers and sellers know about the document they signed when they signed it? And it's our job to explain that. Okay. I'm getting calls from sellers and buyers. Well, I didn't know that was in that form. They just told me I had to sign it so that I could see that house. Or I needed to get my house listed really quick, and they just told me to sign the paperwork and we agreed to a price. Well, that's not all you're agreeing to. Okay. So please take the time, read those documents, make sure you're in a position that you can explain it to your buyers, to your sellers, and that you're prepared to answer their questions. If you can't answer their questions, prepare and prepare and prepare some more. Okay. Because it doesn't look good on us if the commission gets a call and the person says, oh, they never explained that to me. Because that's our job to explain it. It's not our client's job to go find the information, read it, know what it means. It's our job to, here's the information, I'm going to explain it to you, and I'm going to ask you if you understand. That's our job. Okay. So please take the time to read over those. If you have questions, call me, call one of the transaction partners, one of the BIC or BIC associates, and we're happy to help you come up with a summarized version of what you need to explain to your buyers and sellers. Okay. Lots of questions and I guess concerns about the concession letters. Is anybody doing concession letters to their buyers and sellers? Leah knows that we're working on modifying that process to some degree. Right now, the process is you go to KWB Resources, you complete this concession request. Myself or Sharon will get that request, and depending on who it's assigned to that week, we'll complete a concession letter for you. There's probably 8 or 10 questions in that concession request. 80% of the time, we get 5 or 6 of them answered. So then the text start, the phone call start, and the email start about something that should take 5 minutes. Okay, so please complete it with all the information. Otherwise, I'll email you, Sharon will email you, then you'll email us back, and then we'll call you about something else. That's where the delay comes in. Okay, so please collect the information, complete the template, and we'll get your letters out as quickly as we can, usually within the first day or two. Okay, that's what I have.
Thank you so much, Tasha. Guys, the information they share, yeah, give it up for our Bics for sure. They're here to look after you all. They are protecting you. If you can't tell, this can be a pretty litigious industry. So they're watching your back. There's a difference in being a functionary agent and a fiduciary, right? I believe AI will eventually replace functionary agents. It will never replace a fiduciary. So just be mindful of that. If you are the one, to Tasha's point, that's guiding them and keeping them educated on these legally binding documents that they're signing, and they don't put those forms into AI and find that information outside of you, that keeps you set apart. So Tasha, thank you for everything you do, truly. PC. So all of our incredible coaches are not here today because they are kicking it in Atlanta with Jay Shetty and the rest of the crew. They're rolling deep. We do have loving on listings going on this February. So very listing focused. Get with your coach if you need more information on that, and then they'll give you further details. And thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate you. Yeah, finished on time. How about that? Real quick before you leave, Anthony, my friend, if you'll come up here for me, please. Guys, again, this incredible gentleman brought us lunch. This is a true professional, guys. You get a behind the scenes look. This guy's micing up, getting his social content. True pro. It's all yours, my friend.
Live. Okay. Once again, I just want to thank you guys for having me here this morning. Was it afternoon already? It's this morning / afternoon. Like I said before, my name is Anthony Kent. I was actually here last month. You guys are going to continue to see me, but I'm a home inspector. I'm licensed in North and South Carolina. The name of my company is Inspections Plus. So if you go on social media, you type in Inspections Plus, you will see this logo. So TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. So of course I provide slab inspections, pre-drywall, your standard home inspections, 11-month warranty inspections. I do radon testing, termite inspections, lead-based paint, mold testing. I also cut trees, install cameras. I'm also a 10-year licensed real estate agent, so I know what you guys are going through. So let's say, for example, you don't have to come to your home inspection. I can answer all your questions for you. Okay, so like I said, I would love to partner with you guys. I'm big on content. If you guys want to get together and do social media, I know a lot of these media companies probably charge you guys like $700 or more a month. You call me, I'll shoot the video with you, I'll edit it, post it, free of charge. As you can see, I'm here. I sponsor events. If you do open houses, I come to your open house. If you want to do home buyers panels, I do those as well. I have whole templates, so I can just plug and play anything. So like I said, just feel free to give me a call. My number is 704-659-3922. The website is inspectionsplus.net. Thank you so much.
Anthony, thank you. You're going to be hanging out in the hub for a while too, right? All right, so Anthony's going to be out there, guys. Feel free to grab you some food and go chat with our vendors a little bit. And again, thank you so much for being here. Have a great week. Absolutely.